Okay, so that is mostly dry, and I decided I would go with the Mars Black. So there's Mars Black, there's Lamp Black, there's a lot of blacks, but for the silhouette, that's going to be a little bit darker. The Payne's Gray is kind of, like I said at the beginning, a bluer type color. So for this one, I think what I want to do is the owl, and I'll show you the watercolor owl here. I really like it because this moon is kind of high, and so it's going to be up in the trees. I like doing trees anyway, so but I think on this one I'm going to put the tree on the right hand side with the owl kind of over here. So I have switched brushes. Well, I'm going to be using this round brush as well as this smaller brush for things like the branches and stuff. So we have our Mars Black here. I have my Payne's Gray in case I want it, but I have the Mars Black. And I'm just going to start. So remember, this is up in the trees. So if your tree extends beyond, it's going to get smaller and smaller the higher it goes. You may want to make this the tree top and not have any trees up here. That's something you kind of have to decide. On this one, if I can get it over here, the tree did extend, but not, it's going to get smaller and smaller as it goes up. There's also a few limbs and branches over here. So we're going to just start. This is like your bravery test, like Bob Ross bravery test. We're going to put a big tree right in the middle. Just kidding. And actually, for this trunk, I'm going to go with the bigger brush. And I think I'm going to have mine extend all the way off. And remember, trunks of trees are not straight. For the most part, there's little wobbles, there's there's places where branches come off, so don't try to be perfectly straight with this. But, like I said, you need to get narrower and narrower the higher you go. And I think and you'll see the lamp black is even still, the Payne's Gray is dark, so there's my tree trunk. And I'm just going to start taking branches, and remember, branches come off both sides, so you don't want to just put them off onto the moon side. You're going to want to pull them off on both sides. And also remember that branches are not as big as the tree itself. So you don't want to be doing a really fat branch somewhere weird that's bigger than a tree. And they come out at all different angles. And remember, they're really wiggly. You don't need to worry about straight lines here. But I am going to switch back to this brush. Oops. I don't want to put my arm in my paint. And just darken those up. And pick which one you're going to put your owl on. So my owl is going to go on this branch here. Whoops. But there's other branches that come off as well, so. But you probably also want to keep that one somewhat unobstructed because you will be putting an owl on there. And how many branches and how many little tendrils off of things you put, that's up to you. I need my round brush. Make it out my round one. And it's not round, but it's got a round tip on it. Here where it looks like I made a little mistake. There are no mistakes, remember? Okay, I don't like that one as well as the other one. Whoops. And just keep going. Like I said, don't be worried about straightness or anything like that. They're going to be curved, they're going to be crooked. Okay, now I'm going to keep going up. So this is maybe close to the top, but there's still other branches. So don't forget that you don't want to just focus on that one where the owl is going to be sitting. And some of them curve around. Remember that this is three-dimensional, it's not a flat. Trees don't just have branches that go one direction. They go all sorts of directions. Okay, I'm gonna do one up here. That one I feel like should be bigger. But we are getting close to the top, so the top of the tree, branches get thinner and thinner. And the closer to the top, they also go up more. You know, down here they're going to go out, but as they get up towards the top, they go up, because that's where all the daylight is. Okay, I feel like this one kind of needs some branches down here, but some bigger ones. And I like them to go across because it does look more real when you're doing branches. Branches, look out at the trees around your house. They don't come out even. They don't stay going the right direction all the time. They go every which way. One more down here. Bigger. Let's do a bigger branch. This is where it's just patience, but also you don't want to get too much detail. You know, there's no leaves. Don't put leaves on here. You could, I guess you could put leaves, but I don't know, I wouldn't. It's that time of year, the leaves are gone. Okay, now, like this one, I think I want to put just a few over here, smaller, just to kind of balance out that side of the painting a little bit. So, but these are going to be a lot smaller. I'm just going to come about right here and get fatter. And this one, because it is the top, it's going to have lots of little wispy branches, but nothing big, huge. If I can get my paint. Oop. This is where a shaky hand is actually a good thing. Painting branches. And then just come up with like some little wispy things. These are harder to see because they are in the darker paint. Oops. Got that a little fat. That's alright. Maybe a couple coming up here. Okay. Let's do our little owl. Kind of feel like my branch needs to be a little bigger or the owl's gonna fall off. I'm gonna just go in here, make it a little bit thicker. Maybe throw in a branch or two more down through here. That didn't work very good. Okay, so an owl is pretty easy. It's got an oval head, an oval body, and then a tail coming off of the branch. So okay, so getting water all over. I think maybe I'll switch brushes here. I want my owl kind of looking this way. I know it's probably doesn't have, anyway, I'll show you. Whichever way your tail comes off, that's kind of the way that your owl's going to be facing. Try to make it kind of oval, make sure it's a nice oval. I might go just a tad bigger. And then an owl, it doesn't have like ears, like we think ears like a cat, but it's got these wispy little, I guess they probably are ears, but. So it doesn't have to look like really solid, you know, like a cat ear would. Now I'm going to paint kind of the oval body. Now one thing they do have is wings, so you come down and leave like a little, it doesn't have to be like perfectly round. He's got kind of a shoulder on him. Okay, now the direction comes based upon the tail feathers. And the tail is pretty round at the bottom. And it is feather, so if it's not totally perfect, that's all right. So there's our little owl. You can make him bigger, you can make him smaller. That's a little branch. Probably wouldn't hold much bigger owl than that. A couple of things you can do also is you can put some stars up in there if you want. But that's the basic picture. So once you have that picture, you can do, like I said, a lot of different things. There's the owl. Once you have your moon, you can do something that's more on the ground, the cat on the fence, scarecrow in a cornfield, you know. This one's got pumpkins and a tree and a cat. So there's a lot of different things that you can do to change it up. But I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.